Hello everyone, welcome to my very first Stormworks build and rescue video. In this game, it's kind of like Scrap Mechanic, which I've made a bunch of videos about. And in fact, my last video I made called Meanwhile was made in Scrap Mechanic. And if you don't know what Scrap Mechanic is, it's basically like Minecraft, but things can move. And this is basically like Scrap Mechanic, except there's water. And that's because this is a game mainly focused on boats. You can build trains, planes, boats. I mean, not boats. I already mentioned boats. You can build trains, planes, helicopters, basically anything. But it's mainly about boats. And this is my first boat. Most people will go for something slower for their first boat, but I'm ambitious. So, yeah. In real life, this isn't like Minecraft where water will prevent all fall damage. See, I got hurt. That's why that red bar appeared on the corner. But because in real life, water doesn't entirely prevent fall damage either. Anyway, this is the inside of the boat. I'm just going to get to the front of the boat first. This is where you drive. So we have fog lights, heater, and I'm going to turn that on for a sec to dry off because I was just in the lake. Engine on off, bow thrusters, left light bow thrusters, foghorn, engine power, RPS, backup generator, electric output, speed, and reverse. Speaking of speed, we're backing up actually just because the current's pushing us. So let's get out to sea. First we start the engine, and then you use the engine power to go. You use A and D on the keyboard to steer. By the way, I hooked up all these controls myself, so if you make this, you're gonna have to follow a bunch of tutorials. I did too. Like, the first person to ever play this game must have been so confused because there weren't any tutorials for it. So we're just going to head a little ways out to sea, and in the meantime, I'm going to show you everything on my boat. This is the helm. That's what they call a steering wheel on a boat, so I'm going to be using nautical terms. So these are test tubes, because this is a research boat. We have sleeping quarters. I'll show you this later. We have med bay, because in case someone falls into the freezing water. Cabin lights, sorry, turn that on. And because you might fall into the freezing water, we have a hot chocolate machine, so you can heat yourself back up. This is the hatch. You go down. Oops, close the hatch. This is the first room I'm going to show you. This has the backup generators in case the main generator fails. It can't produce as much energy, but this thing has a butt ton of batteries, so it shouldn't be too hard. So it shouldn't be too bad. The electricity should get you lasting long enough until you can fix the generator. Speaking of batteries, this is the battery, and this is the fuel. And then here is the ship's heart, the engine room. This is giving me a reminder when I did my Minecraft container ship tutorial. I mean, not tutorial. So, you can also see what the engine's doing, engine temp. Turned on, engine RPS, and electric output from these two generators. You also have light switches in all these rooms, I should have mentioned that. The door. So, I'm just gonna, this also has lights. Now, this is a bit of a fussy ladder. So, if you download this boat, because it will be on the Steam Workshop, as soon as you go up, you fall back down. So what I do is I go up about this much, then close the hatch, and then boom, You got hurt a little bit, but it's not too bad. I think it's a fair time to stop the engine. So, let's see how far we've gone out. Yeah. We're still moving through the water, though, because... So I'm gonna try to counteract that. Engine. Reverse. I'm gonna give it a bit of power. Okay, so I'm gonna cut engine, stop reversing, and cut out an engine. So, let me close this door. And now it's for the fun part, researching the ocean. And you do that in this room. This is the camera room. You'd probably find that this is the camera room, so you sit in this seat, heater, lights, cameras. You can see the propeller turning in the rudders on that cam, on the cam in the bottom corner. You can also see the shadow of the boat on the ocean floor. There's also on the other corner, on the top corner, you can see that's the only camera above the surface. So this is how you can spy on your friends while they're going out for a. That's so you can spy on your friends while they're going out for a swim. But this game does have multiplayer, but I don't have any friends in real life, so but I don't have any gaming friends. I have friends in real life, but I don't have any gaming friends, so that won't happen. I'm not going to do multiplayer videos, most likely, on any game, not just Stormworks. And then the other corner on the top is the front view of the boat. You also have a heater, so that you can keep yourself warm. Speaking of heaters, there's a big one to heat the entire ship. Except downstairs. So, if you're in an Arctic expedition, and this boat can withstand Arctic expeditions, I have tested it, it should be good. Now, there's two things I want to show you that I can't show you right now. Because if you press so I'm going to need to press escape, go to here, custom menu, and now we're going to set up all the fog. Look at this. This is foggy. I think I might have added too much fog. But let's see. Yeah, I've added too much fog. Let's just put half fog. Now we can sort of see. And that's where these two things come in. Fog lights. That increases your range a little bit. Can I see the port? Just sort of. But while we're out here, I'm going to close this door and go for a little swim. Let me just look at something. Are sharks on? Good sharks will eat you. Yep, turn sharks off, turn megalodons off. By the way, the megalodon isn't alive anymore, so this is kind of scary. Yep, we're okay. So I'm gonna climb back on because I am scared of deep water. I'm scared of a lot of things. I'm even scared of wet concrete. So anyway, let's go back in the boat and try to pilot our way back to the port. So, you can also turn on the spot with bow thrusters. So, I'm gonna put that on max. Okay, the bow thrusters aren't working. Let me try the other one. Oh, they're trying. Full power on the bow thrusters. They don't seem to be working. Oh, those ones are doing a good job. So now, using these bow thrusters, we can turn the boat on the spot. I'm going to be showing you this to my mom later today. And if her friend Kelly is watching this, he's gonna wish that his boat has because Kelly has a boat and he's gonna wish his had bow thrusters, or he's gonna wish he had something like this because this boat is super cool. Okay, so in fog, you can't just see the water if it's so severe. You can't just not see the water if it's really severe. Sometimes you also can't see other ships, and that's why this exists. I don't know if you can hear it. That's a foghorn. They exist in real life and are on basically every boat that is big. So next time you go on a ferry boat, think that this thing is a foghorn. It is basically a horn where you don't just press the button, or you don't just hold the button to keep it going. You press the button, and then it stays on until you press it again. I'm gonna disengage bow thrusters because we can use the rudders from here. So, I don't know why, but this boat won't expel exhaust for me. I have these two exhausts here, but they won't expel exhaust for me. And that's weird because I used pretty much the same setup as when I built a steam train, and that emitted exhaust. So, even though it wasn't actually a steam train, it was actually using a diesel electric system, which means there's a diesel engine that turns a generator, and the electricity generated from the generator turns the motors and powers everything else. But this is a pure diesel system, which means that the diesel engine will directly turn the propeller, but also it has generators, so to generate power for these things. So it's sort of a diesel electric and pure electric mix. So, wish this boat was faster. So I did a research mission with it yesterday, up to the Arctic, and it took about 2 hours for the boat to actually get to the Arctic. And then and it took like 2 hours for me to get back too. So that was very long. I basically spent all yesterday building this boat and then just running it. I'm gonna turn the foghorn off now. They don't really need it because there's no other boats because we're on the multiplayer. As by the name, the main goal of this game is to rescue people, but I don't really find that exciting. So, I'm just probably going to stick with researching the sharks, whales, and hopefully not megalodons, because I'm going to have megalodons turned off because I'm probably going to have megalodons turned off because I don't like because I like sharks, but I don't like big sharks. I don't like sharks, but sharks can't really damage your boats, but megalodons can. They can take huge bites out of your boat and destroy them entirely, so I don't want to research the megalodon. Because the megalodon went extinct a very long time ago, like before even humans were around. It's just the saying that bigger isn't always better. And like that, this boat is really good, but isn't that big compared to some of the massive ships that other people have made. So I'm going to reduce the power, and this is where I get to use this reverse button. You see, ships don't have brakes. So, this is what they do. Coming into port, and now, cut the engine. So we're just kind of coasting now. but but the propeller is also coasting, which means we're still getting driven through the water. That is where the reverse comes in. Which I don't think we'll even need to use it, because we're gonna need to increase the power a bit. Let's just do a full burst of power and then just slam it back. We're moving. Yeah, we're gonna have to use the reverser. Reverse! Now the propeller is turning the opposite way. And now we can cut engine. And turn everything off. Whoa! The fog's gone too. It's also getting late in the day, even though I started this video basically at sunrise in the game. So I think it's a good idea to turn off the cabin lights, let the and jump back in the water with my waterproof flashlight. I mean, you'd need one. Anyway, I think it's time for me to go home. Bye!